Today on the channel, look into my eyes as I hypnotize you with my dashing good looks, or with G.I. Joe Classified Series Walmart exclusive, Crystal Ball.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another G.I. Joe Classified Series unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we're back at it with a Walmart exclusive. This time we go balls out with Crystal Ball. But for all your Crystal Ball needs and a whole lot more, Walmart. But for everything else under the sun, hit up jaystoysandgames.com. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 15%. Got to get a deal out there, and deal I got is I found this on the pegs at Walmart this morning. Part of that big gondola section. My Walmart that I found this at, they had 3 pegs for this guy. So I feel like it's going to be very similar to the breaker situation over there at Target. All of my stores have 5 or 6 breakers right now. I think in the next month or so, we'll see a lot of Crystal Balls. You'll have your opportunity to get him from Walmart. I know somebody's going to say they won't, but I think if you're diligent enough going between online and the stores, you'll be able to track this down by the looks of things here. And by the looks of things here, we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. And Crystal Ball, an absolute favorite of mine in my childhood. And I've heard it, Todd, I've heard it before. A lot of people hated Crystal Ball, but Crystal Ball, the Raptors of the world, there was a lot of cool characters for the Joe brand. And, you know, I'm maybe in like 6, 7 years old. I'm eating it up with a fork and spoon. But if maybe you were 10, 11, 12, you're like, what's this Crystal Ball thing? What's happened to this G.I. Joe brand? I totally get that. But I was at a moment of time where I enjoyed Crystal Ball. I thought it was cool. I still think it is cool. And I love that they're going all in as looks like we're going to build out a bit of a Crystal Ball army at Walmart with another Walmart exclusive in the future. So fun, like a young Beach Boys is Crystal Ball for me. But we're going to dive into this one here, and we're going to start it off, of course, Crystal Ball style here. Don't let me hypnotize you, as we do know, but Crystal Ball looking amazing right there in the package. Got that Cobra logo, G.I. Joe here as well. And of course, Cobra, Richard Crystal Ball King. The old Dick King is here once again. Dick King, a.k.a. Crystal Ball, is here. Of course, I think, what was it? Something about Stephen King here. His son loved G.I. Joe, so they kind of named it after him. There was some story to that didn't really matter to me much, but that's why they have that on here. But interesting name, of course, Crystal Ball, Dick King. There's a lot of innuendos going on here, Todd McFarlane, and I'll explain them to you later, of course, as you know. But looking good in the packaging, looking good. And dare I say, I might need 2 of these to display the different looks on this one here. Number 159, looking like something from like an X-Men comic or something over here. QR code, who's got time for that? Not me. Then on the back, Crystal Ball doing Crystal Ball things in the background. And so much gibber, so much jabber, so little time down low. Anything down there? Nothing. Cobra Richard, Crystal Ball King. Show off his tattoo, show off his squid head. It looks like a lot of fun back there, though. But let's get down to it. Let's get Crystal Ball out of the package. Spider-Man style. See you later. Goodbye. Quick like lightning, of course, as we know. Pulling it all out. Whipping it all out is what we're doing there. See you later. Goodbye. And now we got some twist ties going on with these accessories. Always interesting to see that. But like I said, as a kid, I really enjoyed Crystal Ball. I thought it was really cool how he'd hypnotize people. I was all in for the backstory. I had 0 issues with Crystal Ball as a kid. I mean, I don't know. He never personally did anything to me, so I don't know why I'd have many issues with him. But I don't remember him being named Dick King as a kid either. But the more you know, folks, of course. See you later. Goodbye. That didn't go very far. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there here. We got the plastic prism for Crystal Ball ready to go. He doesn't really have his well, I guess he does. Never mind. I walked that back. As I say, he doesn't have his hypnotizing shield. What are we doing? But he's got it. Oh, he's got it right there. And I always imagined him just as like an absolute lunatic that would, you know, have no problems killing anybody. Kind of like a Joker type character. See you later. Goodbye. That's what I always imagined him like in my head. Of course, Crystal Ball, at least that I remember, never was in the comic, or not the comic books, the cartoons as a kid. So he never got to enter that world, unfortunately. But let's start it off. We got one extra hand for Crystal Ball. He's got one kind of like protected hand, gloved hand over here. And he's got the mystical, magical, gonna do that kind of thing hand. Looking pretty good, all things considered. He's got a nice little revolver. He's ready to go. He's got a little 6-shooter here. I can see him just putting this to somebody's brains, blowing them away, Joker style. Looking pretty good. And we got a little coil. Is that a snake wrapped over that? That's pretty kind of cool if that's what that is. Looks almost like that worm from Globulus's little dagger thing. Remember that? That was a cool thing. And then you got a hole in the end. So if you have an effect piece, you could plug that in there if you want to. Continuing on, we got a magical sword going on here. Nice translucent green plastic. I don't know. Does he conjure this up, conjure a spell, and boom, he's off to the races? I don't know, but this is a cool looking sword right there. And the hits keep on coming, I guess, with, what do we got here? I guess here it is, a crystal ball. A guy like Crystal Ball, he should have something like that. And you got some of those green effect pieces. He's going to put it right there, and he's going to look. He's going to tell your future. That's what he's going to do right there. Looking good, though. Not too bad as far as accessories go. Then we dive into the shield. And once again, 2-in-1 figure. You got 2 different heads, 2 different interpretations of the shield, 2 different kinds of weapons. You could easily have 2-in-1 here. To me personally, if I'm only having one of these, he's going to look more like old school Crystal Ball. I like the added accessories and the change of the character, but in my brain, he's got to be old school Crystal Ball style of what I grew up with. That's how I'm going to have to do it. But I do like his shield here, and it's got the lenticular. Oh, it's like Score baseball cards back in the day. Oh, shout out to Score, of course. First time I ever scored. Oh, second time. Score bar was the first time. Score cards were the second time I scored, if I'm not mistaken. But looking pretty good right here. Almost looks like a manhole cover on the back end there, but you got the gripping spot on the back, so you can put that in. And then, of course, this will pop in over the top if you want to. So a 2-in-1 shield for one Crystal Ball. Not a bad piece of business. Very, very fun, very cool here. But we keep on going with Crystal Ball, and let's go to the head. Let's check out Dick's head. How about that? We got Crystal Ball right here. You guys know me. I'm a sucker for a guy with some face paint. He's got that going on. He's got some ratty teeth, though. Man, he didn't see that coming, I guess, in his Crystal Ball. He's got that cool mustache. Almost reminds me of like a modern-day Bob Dylan. He's got that pencil mustache. Oh, just looking as cool as can be. And he's got that skunk hair on the sides. I mean, I shouldn't talk. I could be looking like this soon. There's a few grays poking in right over here. So before you know it, I'm going to be looking like Crystal Ball. And there's worse looks out there for sure. Got that little bit of gray right there in the front as well. And then black throughout on there. Looks good, though. Looking like a dangerous individual is what he looks like to me. He does got a couple of chains around his neck. He's not going to win any races with Mr. T, but it's like a medallion and like a little vial of something. Then he's got the fur-lined coat, always keeping you warm with that fur. Got the big, long coat over the top, looking very nice. Holster on the side of the leg to put his shooter in there. That's always good to see. A nice jacket over the top. And then, of course, these tattoos. They were pointing him out on the back of the package, so we better point him out, too. He's got those tattoos on his bicep. He's all tatted up, ready to go. Jeans going on. Got some black boots as well. Brown shirt underneath. If somebody handed me this, it was the G.I. Joe line, I would know this is Crystal Ball. A different take on the original Crystal Ball, but this one gets the job done for sure. I know who this is. Secondly head, I should have probably went through this first, was the second head. You got these devilish like horns up top there, some big old tentacles out the front. Very creepy, very cool though. Obviously you display this, you give him the shield with the translucent plastic, you give him that sword, you're off to the Crystal Ball races. You got the crazy 3 eyes on it, I guess is what that is. Is that an eyeball right up there too? Red fiery eyes. Just extra creepy. You could almost have this as like a squid that lives by itself if you really wanted to as well. Articulation, arms all the way around for us there. Of course, the coat does get in the way a little bit, but you can work through that. Bicep cut, double jointed, pinless elbows. How about that? Hands back and forth, side to side. Almost looks like he's got a little knuckle duster action going on. Maybe those are rings on his fingers. Of course, he's got the trigger hand here. He can just be firing away, blasting away if he needs to. Ab crunch, of course. Head back, forth, side to side. Neck articulation as well. He's got some tattoos right under there. I thought it was some chest hair, but tattoos under there as well. So he's all tatted out. Got the drop down hips. Legs go up. Legs go back. Legs go split. All that fun stuff. Nice tight thigh cuts there. Double jointed. Pinless knees. Boot cut. Ankles back, forth, side to side, up and down. Our usual classified articulation here with Crystal Ball. Not a bad piece of business. A good Walmart exclusive. I don't know. I think Crystal Ball could have sold no matter how you did it with him, but I think maybe they're saying he's too niche. Todd McFarlane. Maybe they're thinking that, but he is a Walmart exclusive. It'll be interesting to see if they continue to build his army out in the future. I'm kind of here for it. I kind of like the idea of it. And once again, it always goes back to nostalgia, goes back to my childhood, me personally here. I love the original Crystal Ball, so I like this. I have nostalgia for this, but if you're a little bit older than me, you're probably like, oh, that was when I was out of the Joes. And I understand that as well. But a fun piece of business here. As I said, don't start fretting this one. I guarantee you're going to be able to find it at a Walmart store. Worst case scenario, have a little patience. You'll be able to pull this off of Walmart online. And if that doesn't work, get a friend out there, cost plus shipping, or even eBay to pay a little bit more. I don't think you'll have a definite trouble finding this in the long run. Of course, Eagle style in the long run is what I'll say. So there's old Crystal Ball doing Crystal Ball things. Of course, Dick King, as he's known in many a circle, as we know as well. But there it is, Crystal Ball. What's your thoughts on Dick King? You here for it? You here for Dick? You want a little bit of that? Let me know. Maybe the ball, the crystal ball? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell as we got videos every single day and then some. We got even more content for you, of course, over there on Patreon and YouTube channel memberships. Your best way to support the channel. Sir Paul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and TheKylePetersonShow at gmail.com, which is, of course, my podcast each and every single Tuesday, wherever podcasts are found, with video cast on YouTube. So for Crystal Ball, I am Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Well, are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?
Get that wheel to time.